Foreign policy will be one topic at tonight's third and final presidential debate. And with the U.S. military involvement in several conflicts around the world, including Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Libya, navigating the issues will be a complicated process. And here to take us through it, Michael Singh. He is the former Senior Director of Middle Eastern Affairs at the National Security Council and Managing Director of the Washington Institute. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Heather.
First of all, let's just begin with the debate tonight. Is there one question in particular that you would like discussed or these two candidates to have to tackle this evening?
Well, you know, I think, Heather, one thing that we see going on around the world is you see countries like Russia, countries like China, increasingly challenging the United States and sort of challenging the rules-based order which we have led for decades. And we haven't seen, frankly, an effective response to those types of challenges, whether it's in Ukraine or the South China Sea. And I'd like to see a little bit more focus on that. There's a tendency to focus a lot on terrorism, a lot on the Middle East, and I think that those are sort of good things to focus on. But they aren't necessarily the only challenges we face in the world or even the hardest ones.
No, not by a long shot. And it's interesting, though, that you bring that up. With Hillary Clinton, of course, having served as a Secretary of State, one of the things that she actually writes about on her website, and she talks about it in terms of her achievement, is restoring America's leadership in the world after it was badly eroded. And lots of Donald Trump's fans and his people that are going to vote for him would definitely argue that the opposite has occurred.
Well, I think that's right. I think that Americans generally do have a perception that American prestige and power is not what it used to be. I think they felt this way, frankly, for a long time, more than the past 8 years, going back into the Bush administration, probably. And the question is, what do we do about it? I don't think there's any going back to, say, the 1950s or the 1980s because countries like China are simply more powerful now. So the question is, can we just retreat within our borders and say, you know, sort of to heck with the world's problems? Or can we sort of reestablish some kind of leadership in places like Europe and Asia, preserving the order that we've built over these past decades in a way that sort of makes life better for Americans and advances our interests?